So right here, there are two existing threaded holes in the frame that aren't being used, which this bracket for the oil cooler is for. So this bracket for the oil cooler is right here. So as you can see, the oil cooler is sitting up above about the level of the bottom of the top shock. But what I did notice here is you're gonna lose your little drip tray for the oil, because I had to take it off to fit it up in there, unless maybe I'll ask them if there's something different with that, because that's nice to have, but in the end I'd rather have the winch over worrying about the oil draining out. But it still looks like it would drip. It's going to drip in front of the frame, but we'll see what we got to do with that. So as far as removing this oil cooler mount that holds the oil cooler here, you got these here, this one and that one. There's that on both sides. Okay, so you take those off, and then this whole bracket comes off of there with the cooler on it. So what I'm going to do after I do that, then I'll just take this cooler off of the bracket, and then I just mount it on the new one. So on the driver's side, front corner, in front of the front tire, there's this main plug connector here. Ow! There's a wire mesh into my finger. You just unplug it, and that's everything in the bumper. The sensors and the fog lights, everything is off that plug. So then when you unbolt it, it's just a matter of sliding the bumper right off. Okay, so I got this up in here. So with the oil cooler, you're gonna take this comes off the stock bracket, and this drops in. In order to get this in there, it's a really tight fit. You have to rotate this tube down, and then you can get this here, so you can get just enough room to get these studs through there. I mean, or else maybe you could cut them a little shorter, and then it would be easier, but I just left them the stock length. Up top, there's two holes here. There's holes on the bracket behind there. Okay? So with that, you're going to get this bracket. With that earthquake, you got this bracket here, which I'm going to mount the fan first, obviously, so you can get the bolts through and the nuts. And then that's just going to match up with the holes up here, and that's how your fan's going to go on. Okay, so I'm working on getting the bumper off. That is the last bolt of the 6. So you got that one there, and there's two on this side. Same, obviously, with the other side. There's only that bolt left, so the bumper's ready to like fall off. So I'm hoping that having it up this high is okay. All right, this could be a blooper or something. We'll see what happens. I'm not gonna lower it. It doesn't seem that heavy, which is exactly why I don't really want an aftermarket bumper. there it goes. We're sure as fuck's heavy now. There. Now, sure as hell opens up this whole setup here, so you can see a lot better. So you can see I got these bolts here in the top. That's just on there for now. It's not even permanent because I got to put the fan on, and I don't have quarter 20s right now. So this kit is like the first kit that came out, so there's obviously going to be a couple things. I don't know if you have to, but let me get this light. Right here for the hoses, I made some little half moon notch in there so that the hoses weren't touching that bracket, because they were on both sides, but they are not anymore. So I just wanted to give it a little bit of room. What's the other thing? It's just getting damp in here. The weather's changing, so things are starting to sweat. The other thing I was gonna point out here is these rotate really easily, okay? But right here, I think I'm going to put, you can rotate it down a little bit, and then I'm gonna put a plastic protective sleeve here. I'm just a person that thinks about, vibration. So that was for me. I scratched it doing that, but this way it gives it a little bit more room than it had. Same thing over here. Probably in the manufacturing, you could probably just do that with a plasma or whatever, cut those out. So with the bumper off, I have to hang the new. So at this point, I have to take this thing here. I was thinking about bolting the sides up first, or just hanging them, and then put the middle piece in. In his other video, he did the whole thing at once. I don't know exactly how I want to do it yet, but I'm gonna probably try a couple things out, and then I'll go with the thing that I think works best. So with that, I think I have no choice, but this truck has to be lower. There's no way I'm gonna be bench pressing that up there, so I'll have to reconfigure this whole setup. And I think I'm just gonna leave it at that height. I'll probably just work off of a chair or something when I get this fan set up here. This is gonna be fairly quick. I would finish it right now, but like I said, I don't have any quarter 20 screws that I would want to use right now, so I'm gonna have to get those tomorrow and just do it then, and then that part's done. As far as working on it down the road, with this there, to me, you would leave that whole thing up there, this whole setup as is, and you can leave this whole setup as is and just take these 4 bolts off the end and just probably rotate it down actually, and then you can get to the balancer or whatever you might want to do there, And I'm gonna see about the little drip thing, because maybe you could still put it on after this is on here. I don't know. But I'll have to reconfigure this height thing, and then we'll get going on that.